Morning guys, just wanted to make a quick video to talk about today's tattoo. So I've been rambling all week about getting more black work done to mirror this side on this side, and that's exactly what's happened. We pretty much did the same thing we did on this side as over here, except this side had more blacked out already previously. This whole black arm has been done for over a year, I'd say, where this one is still a work in progress. So, like the shoulder cap and stuff isn't quite where the other one is, where the right arm is. Um, so now all that's left to do for the shoulder, throat, neck area is the backs here. I'm gonna leave a little bit of this white break here to show off the eyes on my back piece. But yeah, this rose bit here, the rest of this sword, and then the same thing kind of on the back, and just match it all the way up to my, I have a little black tattoo on the back of my neck with an eye in the center of it. It's all going to connect to that. That'll be next week and the following week. Those will be taking place next Wednesday. So 8 days from now, I'll be getting probably just one part done. I'll probably do that in two goes. It's just like the front parts. Overall, again, pretty easy pain wise. Like nothing too crazy. Actually, probably the left side may have hurt a little less, but I guess it swelled up a little more. And there's quite a bit of blood. I had to kind of patch up my Sanoderm because I started kind of peeling already because of how moist it is in there. Yeah, so I guess there was quite a bit of swelling, but not too much pain there. And I don't know about you guys, whether it's just me, but if you get into a good conversation while you're getting tattooed, sometimes it kind of feels like you get away from the pain. So that's kind of what happened today. It's me, my tattoo artist, and one of the other people at the shop struck up pretty good dialogue and kind of got carried away in the conversation. And before long, it had been an hour and 15 minutes. And my tattoo artist is fairly quick when just doing big areas of black. So an appointment for this kind of work is only usually about an hour to 2 hours long. We get quite a bit done in that amount of time, so we don't have to cram a lot in because I go every week generally. So if we don't get everything done the one day, we'll get it done the next day, kind of thing, and it makes it a little easier to heal too that way. So yeah, normally I would have been getting tattooed tomorrow, but I've got a couple days off. Me and the wife are going to be out of city for a few days, so that'll be nice. We're going to be doing some shopping, spend a few nights at a hotel. It's kind of like our honeymoon, I guess, because when you first get married, you're pretty broke from the wedding costs and stuff. So we're pretty excited to get away for a while and not have to worry about things around the house and kind of enjoy ourselves. It's also her birthday, so yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Go to some different restaurants and stuff that you don't get in the city here. But anyway, no one cares about that stuff, I'm sure. Blacking out has definitely taught me a little bit about like tattoo aftercare and different stages of healing and stuff. I got into quite a few complications with this arm last year. I actually had a pretty bad infection for the first time in my career, I guess, of tattoos. And it's taught me kind of some warning signs and stuff. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about today is things to watch out for. Now, some swelling is okay and to be anticipated, right? It's good to have some swelling. It means that you've got your body's trying to heal the area, like some, right? But when you get into like some really crazy swelling, like I had Popeye the Sailor Man arms last year, or arm I should say, and it ended up being pretty infected. I've never actually had that any other time, and so now I would say to anyone who gets extreme swelling in an area, like inordinate amounts. Better sooner than later. Kind of check it out, bring it back to your artist, see what they think. And yeah, just kind of keep a watch on it. But a little bit of swelling, not bad. A little bit of redness to be expected. Obviously, you won't see redness through the black ink if you're getting blacked out. But yeah, a little redness, a little swelling, not bad. But severe redness or swelling is something to look out for. And regular kind of clear fluid is fine. But if your tattoo starts kind of oozing yellow or green, that's definitely a sign of infection. But it's pretty easy to clear up. The good thing about going through that experience for me last year was figuring out that tattoo infection, while it's gross and definitely not something you want, actually isn't that hard to get rid of. So most typical skin creams or skin antibiotics can take care of it. I went through a round of one called clindamycin, and that one wasn't quite so good, but the next one I tried was called Keflex, and I took a few weeks of antibiotics, and it flushed the infection right out, and actually the tattoo ended up healing okay. I didn't die. I did get a little sick, so it's not to say that tattoo infection is something you shouldn't be worried about if it happens to you, but just know that it's not the end of the world. And the main reason why I wanted to say this, and it might seem a little odd to talk about this or gross or whatever, but I did get an infection, tattoo infection one time. And I don't think people talk about that kind of stuff enough. And I think because of that, there's a real stigma, like, what happens if your tattoo gets infected? Like, you just Google it, and it's nothing but, like, the worst stuff. Don't ever look at Google Images if you've got one yourself, because you'll think you're going to die, you're going to get gangrene or something. And so I kind of was hoping to just kind of break that stigma a little, that, yeah, it's bad, but it's not dire. Like, you can survive it, and your tattoo doesn't have to fall apart either. It will heal up, and you can get it touched up eventually. So I just kind of wanted to pull the curtain back on that, because it seems like it's such a hush-hush topic in the tattoo community. Like, you can talk about almost anything else, but you can't talk about tattoo infection. And just between you guys and me, I don't care about things you're not supposed to talk about. I'm going to talk about those kinds of things all the time, to whatever the detriment. Like, I just think that this stuff needs to be talked about. I mean, I've got nightmare stories about piercings and stuff too, and I always think I'm probably not the only one that's gone through things like this. People just don't share these stories, and it's valuable information too. Like, I've got all kinds of septum-related stories to talk about. I can't wait. It's just about figuring out how to tell the story, you know. But yeah, I'm rambling a bit. Probably a little bit due to adrenaline rush from the tattoo, which was a blast. I always love getting tattooed. Since progress, I'm really loving how this black kind of mantle is bringing out the front here, and still deciding on what to do about this stuff, and even figuring out how to incorporate some more black onto my head too, because I've got a big red rose on the back of my head, and some red roses on the sides of my head. And I'm trying to figure out whether I want to turn those into black roses right now. And I think it's kind of funny, because I always think, oh, this is the last thing I'm going to do. Oh, this is the last thing I'm going to do. And I should just tell myself, it's never going to be the last thing you're going to do. You know that already. Stop kidding yourself. But I think I have to give myself those little rules, so I only stick a toe in at a time, you know? Like, it's a good way for me to test the waters, I guess, or gradually increase my comfort. I guess it's for the same reason I don't like to punch piercings. I'd rather stretch them out over a time, so I can gradually see how I feel about it, and decide whether I want it more or not. But anyway, this has probably been long enough. So it's probably going to be a few days before I make another video, because like I said, I'll be out of city, so that's kind of why I wanted to hammer out a few of these this week, because I'm enjoying making these videos, whether anyone's watching them or liking them. it's a good release. You know, you don't get to talk this way on Instagram. Everything's so fast paced, and everything's just a click away. You know, everything's just scroll away. So you don't really get to have in-depth conversations or discussions about things like this. I like watching some other YouTubers do these kinds of videos too, just because these are broader concepts than you can discuss in a paragraph, and it seems like that's the attention span on an Instagram post. If you post much more than that, most people aren't reading past a sentence or two. If they stop to read at all, it seems like we're just scrolling all day long. If there's anything interesting there, we'll never know. That's the nature of the beast. I mean, I love Instagram. Nothing against that. It's just, if you're trying to get these kinds of messages out, good luck. Anyway, as I'm rambling on and on and on as I tend to do, I'm going to wrap this one up, and hope you guys have a good week, and I'll talk to you when I get back.